Let's go live. There it is. Yes, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. My goodness, woke up today and found out the great news. And the great news is that all of the flights have been canceled out of Kentucky and surrounding areas. And what that means is there's an ice storm swooping in, and the ice storm is expected to shut out like all the power, state of emergency, all this crazy stuff. And you might be like, well, why is that good news? Well, it's good news because that means me and my wife and my kids are going to get to spend some time together this weekend. That's what that means. Whereas I was going to be hopping on a plane today, and I was going to be spending time with my friends, Danelle and Elena Cardone and Barbara Majeski and Dora Maria and Navia. I was going to be spending time with all my friends at 10X Ladies, and that could be a bummer that I'm not going to get to see them. However, I'm telling you, the key to this thing called life is gratitude. Finding the positives in all of the situations. When I got up this morning, went downstairs, grabbed my Morning 5 planner in my nice, beautiful, warm home. I got my cup of ice water that I drank, and I opened the planner, and at the very top, there was a quote, and the quotes are always submitted by actual members of our community. It's what I love about this particular planner. Now, there are other people's quotes. We got to give them credit where credit is due, but the quote is actually submitted by members of our community. And today's quote said this: "Be water, my friend." Be water, my friend, is all it said. And be water, my friend, refers to Bruce Lee. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You should go on YouTube at some point and search "Be Water, My Friend, Bruce Lee." And when you search that, it's going to pop up an incredible video that'll make an impact in your life, is my guess. And what Bruce Lee was talking about when he said "be water" is Bruce Lee believed you have to first empty your mind of any thoughts that ultimately don't serve you, any thoughts that are outside of gratitude, any thought that can create a negative vibe or a negative energy in your life. You got to get rid of those. Empty your mind first. Then he says, "Be formless like water." You see, water has no shape. Water becomes whatever it is poured into. Whether it's a cup, a bottle, or a teapot, the water becomes the teapot. Water can flow, and it can also crash. Listen, as we continue to talk about money this week and this month here on hashtag Rise and Grind and in Breakfast with Champions, as we continue to talk about money, it is important that you come in with an empty and opened mind. Be like water and break free of the current financial blocks and limitations that might be keeping you from reaching that next level that you know you can achieve in life. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be, ever, Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Listen, I am filled with energy this morning, and at the same time, I'm a little tired. I compensate, right? If I'm a little bit tired, I go over the top so that I can lift that energy up. But to be honest, I'm a little bit tired because, like, I stayed up a little bit past my bedtime last night. I'm just going to be honest here, vulnerable. I'm just going to tell you, I stayed up a little bit past my bedtime last night. I couldn't help it, though. I really couldn't help it, though. I was so excited last night. I was so incredibly excited to pay $700 for these 3 items right here. Now, if you're over on Clubhouse, you can see one of them. It's my profile pic. That is my little hippo NFT. I also bought 2 other ones. I got this one right here where she's rocking the purple, which I love. And I got this bad boy right here too, right? I paid $700 for 3 Lil Hippo NFTs. And it kept me up past my bedtime last night. I was so stinking excited to do that. Like these are the little hippos, okay? No, but you're like, what? These are the little hippos. Now, these little hippos is an NFT project. NFT stands for non-fungible token that was launched by a guy publicly known as The Rundown. That's his name, okay? The Rundown. And what The Rundown did is The Rundown put together 10,000 unique images that are just each a little bit different, right? 10,000 unique images that are tied to something that you all know and love called the blockchain. That's right. They're tied to the blockchain using hash codes. And these are all bought and sold digitally using a currency called Ethereum. Now, here's what's really, really neat about these little hippos. I cannot hold them in my hand. Hi, Liza. I cannot hold them in my hand. And I repeat, I do not own the copyright to any of these. I cannot hold them in my hand. Oh, I hear somebody back. I hear back over on the Clubhouse side. I do not hold them in my hand. There. I hear somebody back. I do. Did somebody mute? There we go. All right, thanks. That was awesome. I cannot hold them in my hand. I do not own the copyright to be able to market them. Like I can't throw my little hippo like on a t-shirt and go sell it. Like I don't own it like that, right? Like I own it, but I don't own it, right? Like I don't own the copyright to it. Like there's no way I could do anything with it in the physical world. And the odds are, to be honest with you, odds are that no one in my family, unless they watch today's episode of #Rise and Grind, the odds are no one in my family will ever lay eyes on any of these hippos. They'll never see them. They'll be stored in this thing called a digital wallet, right? And yet, with all that being the case, I can't hold them in my hand. I can't sell them on a shirt. I'll never even show them to many in my family members. With all of that said, I spent hours, and I mean hours, transferring US dollars into digital Ethereum. Then I paid an extra $83 simply in a transaction fee. 83 bucks. Y'all know how you get mad when you got a transaction fee to like pull $100 out of your bank account. You're like, I got to pull $100 out. I got to pay a $2 transaction fee. You're like, it's my money. Why I got to pay a transaction fee? I paid $83 transaction fee, also known as a gas fee, just to be able to buy them. I had to pay 83 bucks on top of that. And then I waited in line, which I don't do lines normally. I waited in line for hours for my opportunity to eagerly buy as many as they would let me. I was able to buy 3 because that was the max. If they would have let me buy 4, I would have bought 4. They'd have let me buy 8, I would have bought 8. And here's the thing. I wasn't alone. There were literally thousands of people that did the same exact thing, netting Mr. Rundown and his organization well over $300,000 so far. $300,000 so far in 12 hours. And he's only 20% of the way there. He still has 8,000 more of these little hippos to sell. Crypto, blockchain, NFTs. That's what we're going to talk about today here on hashtag Rise and Grind. But before we do, you know what we got to do on this show, right? You know what we got to do. Now, I would play some music. Last time I played the music, you couldn't really hear me over the music. I'll try the music again to at least get the vibe going. But if for some reason y'all can't hear me over the music, just let me know. Either I can shut up and we can just listen to the music. That might be the best way to do it. I can shut up and we can listen to the music, or we can, if you can hear me, we'll do what we do here on hashtag Rise and Grind. You guys know how we do. So I'm gonna pop it over here. Boom! I gotta click that. I gotta click that. I gotta click this. I gotta throw them over here. Boom! Boom! You should be able to hear that. Let's move that body, Ramon says. Yes, sir. I love it. Listen, for those of you that know. Those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where we need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. So if you're on Clubhouse, hit those 2 arrows on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Come on, folks. I need those shares. I would love it to see that number popping up. If you're on Facebook, you know what to do. Share it out. Clubhouse, do the same thing. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, there you go, Ramon. If you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Mariana. Good to see you. What's up, Rodney Rock Hatfield? How you doing, Emily Gallen, AJ Anderson? I see Renee Norris in the building. Great to see you, Renee. I see Joel Curto. Natasha Smith is in the building. Valerie Oakley and Gloria Bond. What's up, God Almighty? I see Rania over there on YouTube. Hi, Rania. How you doing, Christina Howard? I see Lorna Payne is in the building as well. Gloria Bond is up in here. Judy Anderson. Great to see you, Judy. What's up, Jonathan Jerome? I see Liza Meyer. Gorgeous. How you doing, Natasha Smith? Dr. Maxine is in the building over on YouTube as well. Great to see all of you over on Clubhouse. There we go. I see people sharing over on Clubhouse. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going there first. Eve Townsend. What's up, Eve? Great to see you. I see Nicholas Mazza just shared the room. Patricia Frudenberg just shared the room. Sherry Matthews. Great to see you, Sherry. Giannis Rodriguez is in the building as well. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you. And those of you that are on the stage, Tosh and Wendy and Coco and Janet and Brian and Debbie and Sheila and Kim and Lady Jewel. I'm so glad you're all here. Now let's go. Let's go. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. Let's get that body moving this morning. If you're working out, push it right now. If you're running, run a little bit harder. Look, I didn't know Ramon had all that in his life right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, we're going to talk about some of these crazy words that you might not even know the words. Bitcoin, blockchain, NFT. We're going to talk about it for just a minute, and then we're going to dive into today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's kick it off. Right about now. All right, so check it out, okay? Check it out. 3 days ago, Justin Bieber bought this image right here. This is called a Bored Ape. He bought this image. For those of you that are over on Clubhouse, if you click the link there at the top, you'll be able to see it. But I'm showing a picture of Justin Bieber in his Bored Ape JPEG image, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, Justin Bieber bought this image right here. Drum roll, please. Scott Simons, make sure you're paying attention. Justin Bieber bought this for $1.3 million. $1.3 million. This was just a couple days ago. Eminem bought his Bored Ape, a little image over here. Eminem bought his for $462,000. And Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton were actually recently on the Tonight Show, proudly displaying their bored apes that they have as well. They actually have these bored ape heads as their Twitter profile pics. So really, I guess the question would be like, what the heck is going on here? Right? Like that's as far as we go. Like, what the heck is going on here? I mean, you've got this thing called a Bitcoin, right? You got Bitcoin that is currently worth like $34,000 per digital coin. We have all of these 20-year-old millionaires that are mining crypto in their apartments. Like, what does that even mean? What do you mean you're mining crypto? How can you mine crypto in your apartment and make millions of dollars, right? We have projects like the Little Hippo project that I just told you guys about. Like, literally, has the world gone mad? That's the question we got to ask. Has the world gone mad? And I'm going to respond to that and say yes, 100%. 100%. The world has gone mad. And for those that can be like water and clear your mind, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. We are currently sitting in the opportunity of a lifetime. Listen, earlier this week, here on hashtag Rise and Grind, we discussed the key principles that make all of this possible. Has the world gone mad? Yes, right? This week, we talked about the key principles that make all of this possible and that are crucial to breaking you out of your current money mindset. And so I want, real quick, connect with me. Here's what I want you to ask yourself. Does your current belief system about money serve you? If the answer is yes, then great. Keep up the good work. If the answer is no, you're like, nope, don't have enough, need more, got to go get more, any of those types of things, then listen to me. I'm going to give you three pieces that'll help you understand why all of this is happening and the opportunity that exists for you. Listen, we talked about it earlier in the week. Money is energy. Money is a means of exchange and nothing more. Money is designed to flow. The form of the money does not matter. Money can take on any shape or size. Money can be a metal bar. It can be a coin. It can be a piece of paper. It can be plastic. It can be digital code. It doesn't matter. Money moves freely. Money moves openly and abundantly. That's principle number one that you need to really embrace. There is no shortage. It is not boxed in. Money is like water. It can take on all forms. It is shapeless and it is abundant. Now, the second thing that we're going to have to attack mentally is that we have to be very, very clear. I talked about this earlier in the week. We have to be very, very clear that people buy when value exceeds price. That's when they'll exchange money, when value exceeds price. So, for example, though Little Hippo is a digital asset, I find value in being a part of the community around Little Hippo. Like, I like feeling included in that community, right? Like, I also enjoy being a part of somewhat like an exclusive club, right? Like, it feels special. Now, of course, I also like the art itself. I like the imagery. And I believe that most importantly, and this is probably the most important key thing, is I believe in Rundown himself. Like, I believe in the dude, the Rundown, right? I've listened to him on Clubhouse show up every single day and run 6-hour rooms for the last year. So I know his heart. I trust him. And therefore, I find value in supporting him. The value exceeds the $700 price. That's principle number 2. And I'm running out of time this morning. Candice is going to kill me. So I'm going to give you number 3 really, really fast. The third key component that I need you to really wrap your brain around is you are the asset. You are the asset. When you live your life congruent with who God made you to be, you will no longer have to chase money. You literally will attract it. You see, Rundown's success came from him showing up 6 hours a day for a year for free and serving people. Like no dollars for a year, 6 hours a day for free, just literally building a community. That's it. Serving. That's it. And now all of that free work that he gave, air quotes, free work that he gave, will ultimately be worth $2 million in the end. And that's before the price of Little Hippo goes up, if it goes up. $2 million is what he'll make by selling these images, not because it's a JPEG or an image, but because Rundown has become an asset in all of our lives. Not too bad for a year of work. Would you agree? $2 million? I'll take it. Listen, my friends, you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. That God made you and I uniquely to bring our best versions of ourselves into the universe, into the world. And when you get congruent with that and you open your mind and you flow like water and you understand that it's about the human connection, it's about the human connection and exceeding the value that people anticipate out of you. When you do that, you will find a life of abundance and wealth. 100% believe that. With that said, let's go talk about it with the rest of the crew here on #Rise and Grind. This is Breakfast with Champions, Millionaire Breakfast Club, your opportunity to get a seat at the table. And check it out, man. Breakfast with Champions is everywhere nowadays. That's right. We've got the podcast. We're on places like Wisdom and Fireside. We're going to Green Room, and we've got YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. Wherever you can join us, we would love for you to come get a seat at the table. Become the champion you know you are inside with Breakfast with Champions. Well, hello. There's the crew. There they are. I'm like, wait, where's the crew?
Hey, we're in NFT.
Hello.
What do y'all think about Little Hippos?
Well, all right. You like them. I love them. Listen, I have a question about them, though. Yes. Listen, I am going to be dropping an NFT with some amazing folks that I also met on Clubhouse. Okay. This year, my question to you is around this community. So we know that you want to be exclusive and you want to be in a community. So you said I'm all in. Plus, it's the new thing in town. Mm-hmm. What are you gaining additionally from this community? I want to be all ears.
Yeah. So Rundown has he's got a great Discord channel, right? Great Discord channel. And he is it's really just getting closer to him and his people, right? He's got people around him that are really, really smart in this world of crypto. He has he comes from the 80s, 90s hip hop era, so he has a lot of connections and friends in 80s and 90s like hip hop that are really cool. People that I'm attracted to. Like I'm like those people are cool, right? And so that's why the Little Hippos are all like they're like Missy Elliott, Little Hippo, Tupac, Little Hippo, they're Eazy-E, Little Hippo, right? They're all from the 80s and the 90s. So as a holder of the NFT, now we get to be a part of these conversations of what he's building. And what's really cool is this particular project is attached to, he's taking all of the proceeds from this project and he's using it to educate inner city kids on Web3, the metaverse, NFTs, crypto. So he's going to young people in underprivileged positions and teaching them how they can leverage new technologies to get themselves out those streets. And that's what I love wanting to be a part of.
Yeah. So Glenn, if somebody was starting today, even I'm late to the game, and I try to pride myself on being a pretty progressive person. My thought is my reality is pretty good. So why do I want to go to this virtual reality? And, I don't want to sound like an old fart on here. But anyway, if someone was starting today and wanted to buy that Hippo and is not set up, do you have a buying for Hippo for dummies or something like that? Where take me through that. Some other people are sitting there like me going, I'm like, huh, what are you talking about?
I
So
love
could you briefly just explain that process? How did you buy that Hippo?
Yeah. So two things, Scott. One, there is really no brief way to explain the process when it comes to the world of crypto, because there's a couple different components that you have to get, right? You have to convert your paper or U.S. currency into a digital global currency, and then you have to set up a wallet to be able to hold that. And then once you do that, you got to set up other things. There's a couple components, but here's the thing. The reason I wanted to introduce this today, so I'm glad that you brought it up. I want to help, and I've talked with Rundown and some other people, I want to help educate our community on all of those things. I want us to pop some rooms over on Clubhouse that are like, what is step one? How do I get a Bitcoin, right? How do I get an Ethereum? How do I get a wallet? Like, I want to start creating those rooms. Our friend Stephen Kuhn, who I truly, truly believe in, is an amazing, amazing human. And he's dropping an NFT also on the 23rd. When is yours, Lolita? Are you guys just in the early process?
Yes, TBD this year.
Okay. So Stephen Kuhn is launching his, I believe it's the 23rd. It's called Have NFT. And he's got it tied to the military, right? For veterans. And it's really going to make a global impact. It's incredible what he has put together. And so what I wanted to do is let's start talking about it. Let's start answering questions. Let's start educating the community. And then together we can support Stephen, and we can all win with the Have NFT project here in about 3 weeks. So that's my hope, Scott. So to answer your question, there is no short version, but we will together go through the process over the next few weeks. And you're going to be able to jump on board on February 23rd with Stephen's project. And that's going to be a big one for all of us.
Got it.
I'm glad that you broke it down in that way, actually, Glenn, because that was going to be my share. I'm not necessarily a huge NFT purchaser, but I've been involved in crypto for a long time, and I kick myself every single time because a lot of people around me were saying, get involved before I got involved. So, I could be actually have a much bigger smile on my face today if I'd listened to them, but we won't go into that. But I think just to touch on some of the really important things that you shared there. Number one, absolutely invest what you can afford, for sure. But number two, also invest in things that you like, but also things that are attached to causes, because I think that's where the real value is, when the purchase unlocks something bigger, or the purchase is attached to something bigger, because I think that's when people will be able to get their head around it a little bit, because otherwise it's just an image that's going to sit on your computer or wherever, and it doesn't make sense to people,
And I agree with you. And that's the last piece. I will say this as the last piece to what Marvin just said. I don't care if I ever get my money back on these NFTs. I don't know if I'll ever sell one. I don't care if they go up in value. Like, I got value from Rundown, supporting him. I think it's a cool pick, but really, when you go into the NFT world, it's one of those things. It's like when you go to Vegas, sometimes you just know, you might win, you might lose, but you're having fun either way. And that's the mindset you got to have when you go into the world of NFTs. So that's the good news on NFTs and Have NFT with Stephen Kuhn. How about some good news from my man, Ramon Reid, right here on #Rise and Grind. What's up, Ramon?
Hey, everybody. We're going to get these cameras right. What's up, Glenn? I love having you there always. Thank you for being ready, Glenn Lundy.
Hey, lights come on, baby. I'm like, let's go.
Love it. Let me get my mic, my camera adjusted here, my mic. It's good to be here, everybody. Welcome to Good News on Rise and Grind. Today is February 3rd, Thursday. We're glad you're here with us. We've heard some great segments on NFTs, on Hippos, on generational wealth, and more. And I think it's been a great discussion. I saw a lot of the comments where people were saying, Scott Simon's good news. And Scott's a smart guy who's got some money to invest. But even he's like, wait a minute. What is this thing? I can't even spell the word fungible. Don't know how to spell. I can barely spell NFT. So with that, let me just shut up and do my role before Candice and Glenn fire me here and get to the good news, everybody. Again, welcome to Good News on Rise and Grind with Glenn Lundy. We're going to talk about today how to say no. 11 creative ways to declutter your space and reduce your stress levels. Podcast for those who are 70 over 70. None of our hosts are 70 over 70, but we do have some older people, which we welcome and love in the Breakfast with Champions community. So let's begin. Good news. If you want to get to know me better, you can get to know me at RamonReid.com or on IG at Ramon Reid Smart Hustle. So today's good news, how to say no. I definitely want to give some props to Alexandra Carter. Her book talks about that sometimes a no saves you from a bad yes. But Natalie Liu says some things that are very interesting. If you say yes to everything, you can work yourself to death and instead practice using a soft no. A soft no has an honest explanation attached to it that isn't over 3 sentences, says Natalie Liu, who coaches people really how to curb their people-pleasing tendencies. For example, thank you so much for asking me to do this project. It sounds really exciting, but I don't have the bandwidth for it. You're affirming, you're uplifting the person who asked you, and you can let them down softly. Good news number 2, some ways to declutter your space and reduce stress. For me in the Ray household, I'm the neat freak. My daughter calls me Daddy OCD. I like things neat and in order. That's just how I roll. If you look on that side of the office where my wife is, it's a little different. But a few things you can take a look here. Start by setting an intention. Give every item in your house a home. Pick a weekly donation day to get rid of those things that just clutter up. Do a nightly cleanup with your partner and clearing out your email inbox. Those are a few things you can do to kind of declutter your home and live a little less stressful in life. I know that helps for me, and I'd be curious when I'm done here, which of our hosts have a more cluttered life and which ones are more OCD and neat and triangular like I am. Podcast for 70 over 70. Journalist Max Linsky interviews 70 people over the age of 70. Guests talk about their past and present. Guests such as Sister Helen Prejean, who fights to end the death penalty in America, share her wisdom and more. So whatever the political spectrum you are, whatever you think, 70 over 70 are amazing people as well. I'm Ramon Reid. That was our good news of the day. Let's see if I get these camera angles right. Here we go. Boom. I did it. What's up, Glenn? How are you, man? What's up, Marvin, Lolita, and Scott?
I am always fantastic when Ramon's in here to answer your question. If you could move the camera around this, you'd see stuff everywhere, dude. I got notebooks. I got pads of paper. I got, look, even sitting where I've got Buffalo Wild Wings, wet wipes just happen to be sitting over here, man. I got all kinds of things. Look, I got some planters, honey roasted peanuts over here on this side, brother. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
it does. It's like a Walmart, like a store. I should just go shopping at the Lundy's. Lolita, why are you laughing so much? What side of the fence are you on, Lolita? Let me hear.
You know what? Our the basement looks like BJ's. I'm just gonna own that. You know, you always, whenever you run out of something, you have to be able to go right down and get some extra paper towels. So I'm all in, but I do like neatness. So yeah, I'm there. Everything has a place. Let's put it there.
So growing up as a teenager, how many of us got broken up with by this statement? Hey, Scott, it's not you, it's me. It's me that has to end this relationship. So I think that is a soft no. Is that right? Or yes. Soft breakup. Did anybody else go there or just my mind take me there? I don't know why.
I've used the line, Scott. I haven't had it on me, but I've used it. Yeah, I've used it.
So it's not just me. Marvin, have you ever?
No, I was going to say, like, The whole no conversation is an interesting one because I have a different relationship with it now than I used to. I used to say yes to everything. I used to be way too involved, and I think now that I see the power in no now as I've got older and I've got less time on my hands and I value time.
Own your yeses and respect your nos.
Exactly.
They don't need a whole lot of explanation in my book, but hey, I'm not the expert.
What do they say? No is a complete sentence, right?
Yes, it is.
No.
And I find that as we get more busy, Glenn, I know what you see on this, but as we get more busy and do other things, that you have to say no more. I mean, I found that you have to say no to say yes to other things. So, I mean, I find that no, Glenn, that's your case, Scott, Lolita, Marvin. Scott's known as the guy, if you ever need me, just give me a call. But hey, I'm sure at some point you have to prioritize. Thanks for calling. Let me get back to you in 6 months or 3 months. I'm guessing, Scott.
And let me add one thing, because this is actually something I'm personally am working on right now as our reach is kind of expanded, is saying no is better than saying nothing.
Yes.
So, don't just leave people in limbo, because they will create whatever belief, in their own minds. And so just make it clear. Take the 5 seconds that it takes to say no versus leaving people hanging. I just want to add that on top.
And saying no is better than saying yes, and then you can't meet your commitment. Just own it. Right. Own it right away.
Absolutely. But listen, y'all, it's good hanging out with y'all. Y'all know where I'm going. Back to the behind the scenes production studio with the amazing Candice. All good. And I will see y'all in a bit.
Ramon, look at you with the moves today.
Yeah, he's on it. I'm just waiting for Scott. Come on, Scott. I want to see Scott Simon's his best dance move right now. The go-to. What's the go-to?
One thing about it, Glenn, I think Ramon dances worse than me. I didn't think that was possible. I was like, get that camera off me.
Well, we're going to get Scott Simon's best dance move here in just a second, because actually Marquand is with us today all the way from India, which I am so super excited to introduce you to him and his incredible music. We got a little sneak peek in the green room a little bit earlier, and I was like, this dude is what's up. How are you, sir? Mr. Marquand, great to see you.
Hello, Glenn. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? I'm doing very well.
So good. So good. So you're coming all in from India right now. What part of India are you in?
I am in Mumbai, in India. And it's like 5:30 in the evening, but it's fine. It's like 5:30 tea with Glenn Lundy instead of some breakfast with champions. It's tea time with champions for me.
There we go. Tea time with champions. Well, we're so grateful that you are here. What are you going to be singing and playing for us today?
I'm going to be doing a little bit of a mashup for you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be some really, really fun songs. And because I've got like 2 songs lined up. So the first one is a mashup. The second one is something that I haven't released yet, that you will get to hear a little bit later. Nice. It's something that I have written. It's one of my my first singles. But if you don't mind, I'll just get into it.
Let's go. I love it. Let's go.
All right, let's get into it then. Today's a new day, but where is my sunshine? There's nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Oh, today's a new day, darling, where are the blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's all right. And when it feels like lights going down the train, I keep holding on to that power that I can't explain. I just keep holding on, and I'm so glad that I keep holding on to it. And when it feels like hell's pouring down the rain, I smile. Even when it hurts, I just smile. 'Cause I know God is working, darling, so I just smile. And you should do the same thing. Oh, smile, baby. just smile. 'Cause God is working, and darling, you gotta just smile. And this one's for whoever needs to hear, you know. Here's a little song I wrote, and you might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, baby, be happy. Hey. In every life we have some troubles, and if you worry, you'll make it double. Don't worry, oh baby, be happy. You gotta sing it with me. Come on, let's go. Hey. Come on, one more time. Yeah. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. All of the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, you know. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been waiting for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. There you go. Oh my God.
Oh,
thank you so much.
You're amazing, bro. You're amazing. And I love as soon as you were like, let's go. And then you like flipped a switch. There was like a little switch you flipped in your head. And all of a sudden you're like, meow. And you're in it. The music's like, you're not performing the music. The music's like performing through you is basically, it's like the other way around, man. I love that, dude. You are incredibly gifted, incredibly talented. Thank you so much for that this morning. You put smiles on our faces all around the world. Will you come back and do another song here in just a little bit?
Definitely, 100%.
Yes, I love that. Well, I am going to bring you back in just a bit for another song, ladies and gentlemen. That was Marquand. Where should they go look you up right now if they want to go look you up?
So at this moment, you can find me on Instagram, where I do most of the things at, and you can find me on Clubhouse. So both the places you can go and look up for Markansonian. The way you spell it is Markandsoni, and that's me. And that's where you can go and find me.
Markansoni on Instagram. Sir. I'm going to be following. That's a fact. And I'm going to be listening to all your stuff. And I'm probably going to have my kids listening to you as well, because I think that you just light it up, bro. You've got such a natural gift. I love that you're in your sweet spot. So come back here in a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more. Fair enough? Thank you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how about that guy right there? Dude, the musicians that we've had on here have been just incredible. It's the only way to explain it. And we've also been having some really, really incredible guests for our interviews. And today is no different. Today we have Pete Lanton, and Pete is an entrepreneur. He's a mentor. He's a coach. He's a property investor. He's also the father of 3 beautiful girls. And Pete, his background is in project management and property, but ultimately the true passion is the Fire in the Belly project itself. You see, Pete is on a mission to help others find their potential and become the mightiest versions of themselves that they can possibly be. And he openly talks about losing both of his parents, suffering periods of depression, business downturn, and burnout, and ultimately his years spent not stoking that fire in the belly. But in 2017, at 37 years of age, that changed, and he is now on a journey of learning, growing, accepting, and inspiring others. And I am super excited to introduce him to you right here on #Rise and Grind. How you doing, Mighty Pete, my man? How are you today?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on, Glenn. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's great. Listen, it's all about, right? It's all about connecting and love.
It is. It's all about connecting and love. And I love that you're here with us today. Where are you coming in from?
All the way from little old Ireland here. So we, it's great, right? We just get to connect from all over the world and just be here. So it's just
so incredible, man. Think about that. We just had my man from India. Now you're in here from Ireland. Like, this is insanity how we can come together on such a global scale. So talk to us about this fire in the belly. You're so passionate about it. You weren't responding to it before. You're responding to it now. Is this something, does everyone kind of have this fire in the belly? Does only certain people have the fire in the belly? Is it like a special 1% trait or technique? Talk to me about this fire in the belly that you were so passionate about.
Yeah, so it's a question. I got to a point in my life, and I probably had the darkest moment of my life, if you like, and we'd lost a business. There was a lot going on, and I've been successful in many ways, but I got to the stage and I couldn't figure out that I couldn't work any harder. I couldn't try any harder and do what I was doing. But yet there was people that were more successful than me. There was people that were achieving more than me, and yet they were doing less work. And this was curious to me and saying, how is this possible? Right. And I had to accept at that point that my formula was wrong, that actually what I was doing was not in the right way, or I wasn't applying myself. And that led me off in a bit of a quest and saying, well, okay, if my formula is not correct, then what is the difference? What makes some people get up and take over the world and other people just get up and, just want to turn on the TV and do nothing, right? And the one thing that kept coming back, saying, what is it? What are we driven by? Are we driven by passion? Are we driven by an integrity? Are we driven by, what is it? Why do some people have a fire in their belly to take over the world and other people don't? And it's that aspect for me which led me on this journey, and having wonderful people like yourself, Glenn, on the show and saying, listen, what does fire in the belly mean to you? And we've had over 450 guests. We have over 270 odd episodes have gone live. And that's just led me to ask people all around the world, what does it mean to you? And a bit of a cheat here that says that actually about 80% of people will say straight away that it's passion.
Mm-hmm.
So when we understand that actually the core thing, the thing that we love to do and the thing that drives us forward is passion, is kind of okay. Well, that's a bit of a hint as to, if we were to try and then bring fire in the belly into our hearts and to what we do day in day, it's passion, right? Generally, the only reason we do things with passion is if we believe it. If it's down, that's who we are at our core. That we're in congruency with ourselves. And that's what it's been all about for me, is actually finding out what you're passionate about. And believe me, there's the weird and the wonderful out there. I've interviewed people who have, from shark whisperers to sex experts to business entrepreneurs to, you name it, right? And it's beautiful. Thank God we're all different. It would be a weird world if we all thought the same. Yeah. But in this world, we all have free choice. We have the ability to do what we do. And what if you just did you and you were the best version of yourself in a passionate way? Well, that's
how do you spark it? How do you spark it, Pete? Like if the fire in your belly's kind of burned out, right? It's smoldering. It's just, you're like, man, I ain't passionate about nothing. How do you spark that fire? How do you get it back?
It's a genuine question, and I have spoken to people who are genuinely, they're saying the spark's gone out. I genuinely believe, this is the beautiful thing. For me, everyone has it. And if you have a breath in your lung and a beat in your heart, I believe you have a fire in your belly. So it's not a case of going, if I have and if I don't. I said, you have it. Now, the difference might be that actually that fire may be dwindling. It may be at its lowest form, and there's other days it'll be at its highest form. What actually happens is whenever we find out what we are, means the most to us, what we are most connected with, and that's the point. And that was the point of my book and saying is, listen to your own inner genius. I believe we are all geniuses. We are all so capable within ourselves, but yet we don't give time to listen to ourselves. We're too busy listening to the voice outside of us.
Yeah. So Pete, could the fire in the belly be different than something you're really good at? Like, is it, if you're really good at something, does that mean that that's your thing always, or could it be different?
No, it's quite often it is different. It's a bit like an ikigai, if anyone's ever heard of that. I mean,
say that again. What was that?
Ikigai. So it's a Japanese principle, but that we have 4 things. So we have what we're passionate about, what we're good at, what we're actually people want, and also what we'll get paid for. So if you can mix those 4 things, whereby you can say, I'm good at this, I'm passionate about it, I'll get paid for it, and there's a demand, a need for it. You mix those 4 things, and that's what they call your ikigai. And I love that thing. For me, that's you could replace that word ikigai with passion, with fire in the belly. Well, what if I could actually be, that version of me, and I can be of greater service? My 4 core values really are love, service, connection, and growth. And anything I do now, and it's so different because I'm an engineer by trade, and this wasn't the case. Anything I do now is with love, service, growth, and connection. And if it's not doing that, then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You have to ask so often our voids are our values in life. We chase the things that we think that other people want. We chase the things that actually, we people please. We're trying to, get our, feedback. We're trying to get our, energy from other people. Well, what if we could actually say, listen, what is it? What does this mean to me? What does this not mean to me? And sometimes it's, there's so many times in life, the best thing we can be is a master quitter. Quit doing the stuff that's not serving you. You can save so much time.
Amen to that.
I find for me is saying, listen, I didn't need to do more. I needed to do less. I need to learn. I need to actually just take time to actually understand what my intentions were and what my core was. Be very honest with myself. And that's hard. It's not just a walk in the park here, right, Glenn? It's really doing something. Because when and we all know somebody with passion, they come with an energy, they come with a burning fire, right? Yourself here, you just
contagious.
Yeah, exactly. You can feel it. And then you sort of go, well, listen, this person's incongruency. They really are. This is them. They're being true. And for that will take that energy goes so far. As you do what you do, you gain energy. You don't get taken away. It's so different. It's beautiful.
That word congruency is so important. And I love how you broke that down, like something that you're good at, something that you're passionate about, something that you can make money at, and that there's a demand for. If you can find that, like right there, that's the sweet spot right there, right? That is the sweet spot. Pete, you and I did an interview a while back, and I can tell that you have been doing the work yourself. Like, I feel I'm talking to a more evolved version of Pete. Not that you weren't polished and amazing last time we talked, but what kind of work have you been doing since you and I spoke last? I guess it's been almost a year, probably a year. What kind of work have you been doing to continue to spark that fire in your belly and make sure that you are being congruent during this season?
So for me, it is just, it is down to listening, having intention. So I follow a very simple process: ask, believe, do, receive. When we follow that, so asking the right questions, it's actually asking yourself, what is my intention here? What am I trying to achieve? When you truly believe it, so that's through visualization, that's through, understanding really is this congruency with my values and who I am, then the actions that you take. So for me, it is, reading. It's ironic. I am dyslexic and have ADHD. And yet I have trained myself to saying I listen a huge amount and I read a huge amount, because I know now I'll be an eternal student. The more I see, then the more I can understand and the more I can grow, right? So it's I don't have to do any of this. I get to do all this. And what a privilege, right?
Yeah, I agree. That is a privilege. Where am I hearing that feedback? You guys hearing that feedback? I'm getting a little bit of a feedback loop. But yes, 100%, man. I agree, and I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you for doing that work and staying disciplined and continuing to plow through. I know that this has been a season of distraction for a lot of us. There's just so many different things going on, and with just all the things. We all know all the things that are going on, and so I'm proud of you for staying laser focused, continuing to be a student. But yeah, I'm with you. I realized that in my 20s, I thought I knew everything, Pete. In my 30s, I realized I knew a few things, and now I'm in my 40s and I realize I know absolutely nothing. Like, I know nothing in comparison to all that I have to learn. And I've got a crew with me today here on Rise and Grind. Things are a little different from when you knew me or from when we got a chance to talk before. So I've got a crew with me, and they've got some questions for you as well, Pete. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat real quick. I'm just going to throw you to the wolves and let them get after it. Marvin, Lolita, Scott, what do you got for my boy Pete?
Oh, Marvin, we can't hear you.
Marvin,
Just
you're
on mute there. There we go. How you doing, Pete? It's great to see you again. It's up. I was so excited to connect with you today because we actually met in 2019 at Grant Cardone's 10X event. And I just want to say this while here on camera, he is absolutely the nicest guy and definitely the real deal in respect to what he talks about. So I want to be super brief and respectful of the time we have here today. I'd love to ask you, because I know you talk about sort of depression and burnout. And, everyone knows that, in order to really sort of grow yourself, you have to kind of know yourself. So how did you actually get through those or out of that sort of really dark period to become the real impact person that you are today?
It's a real mix of things. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. And it's if we go with the premises that actually all the answers that you need are already within you, the problem is you need to ask a better question. That's the difference here, is when you ask a better question, then you will actually connect that to the answer that you already know. So for me, and I did it the hard way, and that's if I could do nothing more, that was the point of my book, and said, listen to your inner genius. It is already within you, that ability to connect with yourself. Now, for me, it was that voice in my head. It was that thing, and eventually I had to say, well, what if it's not trying to slow me down? What if it's actually trying to tell me something? What if there's a lesson here? Because especially with depression, right? Depression is not a cause. Depression is a symptom. You don't catch depression. It's like, oh, so somebody sneezed, I caught depression, right? Depression is triggered by something before. And that's so true with all of our values in life, what we go through, what we have, what our expectations are, our beliefs. Well, when you realize and you get back and saying, what is the cause of all what I want in life? I mean, there's an expression I particularly love, is quite often our voids are our values. What if the values that you have are actually based on a lack? Well, what if you actually change that and you said, well, listen, the values that I now have, because most people will say to me, what's my value? And they might say, well, it's integrity, honesty, all those wonderful things. Well, they're lack-based. But what if we got to the point when actually our values were based on passion? Our values were based on love, growth, connection, service. So it's actually trying to break that down, taking time for yourself. Believe me, there's nobody out there can tell you anything that only you can experience. We can only experience in our own selves. So it is taking the time for you, and we have to take time for us. If we don't, then we're always going to be disconnected. It's difficult, but it's just knowing that we have the answers already within us, right? That in itself is wonderful.
So Pete, this is Scott Simons, and Marvin, that was a great question. Pete, there's people out there that want to take that leap. They have that fire in their belly, but they deal with imposter syndrome. Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? And if you have, what did you do to fight through it? And do you still deal with it today?
Yeah, listen, imposter, we have all the things, right? So anything that we're not, we will resist, and that's the aspect here. So when we can actually take, and whether it's imposter syndrome, whether it's, incongruency, whether it's fear, anxiety, all these things, well, all of those things tell me that actually what it comes down to is basically we're not in congruency with our values. Because if, imposter syndrome is that I think I'm somewhere where I shouldn't be. Okay, well, that says to me that actually there is something in your belief patterns or something of where you are that says I'm not in congruency with who I am and where I am. So by actually taking the time, a lot of people don't do the foundational work. They just want to manifest, they want to go crazy, they want to set goals, they want to do this, but they haven't done the foundational work. So what happens is it's very motivating, it's very inspiring, but it's not transforming. So by actually then saying the imposter in me, don't treat it like an enemy, treat it like going, wow, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this coming up that actually I'm getting an imposter syndrome here. What is that symptom? What's the cause? What if I took time to understand why imposter syndrome was coming up in my value set? And when we take the time to go back and say, wow, okay, this is connected to this and it's connected to this. And if we can get to the original actual question or the original event, and if it is the case, then we change that. It's genuinely game changing. You know, so you'll get someone who is going from being an imposter, being, I have an absolute service and value to give to the world. And it's not a case of saying, you know, will I get up on stage? It's saying, how many stages can I get onto? It's a wonderful opportunity. I am so grateful for the choice and the value and the ideas that I can have and share. It's not about me. It's about what I can do for other people.
You're on mute, Lolita. Are you still on mute? On the screen.
Oh, I'm like, what did you say, Marvin? And then, okay. Hey, Mighty Pete, how are you? How are you? Listen, I have a question for you. How would you define, what is the difference in your mind between passion and purpose?
Well, passion is the way you go about it. Purpose for me is where you're going. So
passion is the way you go about it. Talk to me more. Give me an example, please.
So passion for me is how you turn up. So I use a program and I have a program called Deep Genius. And in that we talk about raving amateurs. Okay. So passion is a bit like being a raving amateur. A raving amateur is someone who's passionate, excited, all the rest. They are just an amateur, so they're learning. They have a right to make a mistake. They have a right to ask silly questions. They have a right to ask amazing questions, right? So that's how we turn up. So I would say to anyone, please be a raving amateur. You know, be that person that asks the question. You know, be that person that sort of does it and saying, well, I don't know it all. I'm just open to asking a better question. And that's fantastic. Purpose is where we're going to. That's the actual point in the distance. It's the headline goal. It's the, you know, the golden thread that you're following. That's the long-term vision, right? So when we're saying my purpose is, you know, for me, it is to actually be the best version of me, to actually find, to live in the now, to be, you know, applying everything that I can apply. It comes within. So that's what I'm doing long-term. That's my moonshot thinking, whatever way you want to put it, your long-term aspect. But how I turn up on every day today is passion. I turn up with fire in the belly, you know, and people say to me, you know, why give yourself the name of Mighty Pete? You know, for some people they say that's a bit inflammatory, you've basically self-branded yourself. But that's actually a reminder to me. It's like, I've got to turn up. I've got to put on this cape and turn up as the mightiest version of me. Well, what if we all turned up as the mightiest version of us? And sometimes we do need that nudge to say, listen, you know, please do turn up with your A game, turn up with that potential. Know that you have permission to make mistakes, but you'll also have the permission to be energetic and enthusiastic and make the best of this. So,
amen, brother. Amen. Mighty, the mighty, brother. How can people connect with you? How can we support what you've got going on? Thanks so much for being with us here on #Rise and Grind. And they can follow you there on IG. I see that at Mighty Pete Lanton. But is there any other way you want us to connect or support?
Sure. It's super simple. My website is mightypete.com. Couldn't be any simpler. And then my book is there, is available, you know, on Amazon. And it's, you know, Be Heard to Be Rich. Listen to Your Inner Genius. It's out there for everyone.
I love it. MightyPete.com. Go grab a copy of his book right now. Mighty Pete, we're going to be over on Clubhouse hanging out after the show. If you'd like to hang out and ask, answer more questions, that's cool. I understand you got a schedule and an agenda, but thanks so much for being with us here on #Rise and Grind. You, sir, are the man. Hey, we will be right back in just a second. We've got some more musical genius for you here in just a minute. So let's go. Oh.
Stay woke. I love it. Hey, I'm a musical genius too. Just because I can't sing or play doesn't mean that I'm not the musical genius coming in. What's up, Glenn? How are you guys doing today? My name is Alexander Gonzalez, and I'm coming to you live from St. Petersburg, Florida, giving you all of the social media word on the streets. Again, I am Alexander Gonzalez, not the fat dad, across socials. I have Siga Jagni. Help me, Siga. I want to say your last name right. Is it Siga Jane, maybe? Talk to me, friend. Principle 1, money is energy. Money is energy. Designed the flow, and the form of the money does not matter. Money is like water. It takes on whatever form of the environment it's in. Money flows freely. I love that principle. Gloria Bond said, "You are the asset. You will attract the money," quoting our very Glenn Lundy. Dora Maria says that I love that many NFT projects are attached to uplifting and educating our communities. Yes, I love that. That's one of the best parts about NFTs is it unlocks opportunities to really help different communities in the blockchain. Don't matter what color skin you got, what gender you are, what you believe who you are, none of it. The blockchain is free. Jasmine Cooper, this song is bringing me so much joy. Christina Howard quotes Pete saying, "What makes some people get up and take over the world and others not to?" Passion, ladies and gentlemen. And lastly, our very own Glenn Lundy says, "Anything we are not, we will resist." That is powerful. And that's the word on these social streets. How are you guys doing today over there on the Rise and Grind panel?
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? We are doing great over here, Alexander. It's always great to see you. Now, I am curious because I was supposed to be headed down to Florida today, and an ice storm has canceled all of our flights. I will be spending a lot of extra time with my family this weekend, which I am very grateful for. With that said, it looks a little nice out that window over there. Did it finally warm up down there?
Yeah, so it's warm. It's beautiful. I have shorts on. I will be in t-shirt and shorts today.
Let's see it.
I don't mind my showing these shirts. The other day I did have I had some shark boxers, actually. So they were in honor of Candice's Shark Week. But yeah, no, the weather, listen, I survived Florida winter 2022, which was January 29th to January 30th. And we are very grateful that we have a 2-day winter here in Florida. But yeah, no, we'll go back. Regardless of what the gentleman saw yesterday, the gentleman meaning, what is it called? The groundhog, if you saw a shadow or not. The shadow don't matter in Florida. We don't even have 6 weeks of winter. So we good.
You guys don't realize how good you've got it over there. Honestly, every time you talk about weather to me, I'm just like, I'm not hearing it. I've been to Florida.
I want to let you know, we actually do realize it, Marvin. That's why we live here.
Alexander, I see today's the first day we got a handkerchief on deck. Come on now.
You know how we do. I just got, y'all, Men's Warehouse just had their once a year 85% off. You got to go in and get that designer for cheap. Hey, no, wait, money. We pay full price. I pay full ticket. But I will say that this ticket price was a little higher than normal, but it was at a discount, so that makes me happy.
Dora Maria said 2 days of winter. Stop playing over there.
Dora Maria, I lived in New York City. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story that I'm going to take my kids to school. I remember going up from the stairs of the subway wondering, why are we all walking in a single file? This is New York. We don't walk in a single file. And then I got to the top of the subway outside, and there was a wall of snow overhead, and just the sidewalk was plowed, and we were walking in one direction, literally single file to get. And I literally looked up to the sky and said, why do I live in New York City when I'm from Florida? And my daughter was born a few months later, or 7 months later, and we were back in Florida.
I know that's right.
I know that's real right.
Alexander,
Scott, you were going to say? Oh, I thought Scott was saying something.
Yeah. So Alexander, what social platforms are we gaining some ground on? Where should people go find us? Are we picking up momentum across any platforms?
Yeah, that's a great question. I will say that momentum is picking up for me on YouTube. I'm seeing a lot more YouTubers, and I'm liking that because that's huge. And what's great about YouTube also is when I switch from apps, because I have all the apps running and taking screenshots of everything, I'm with LinkedIn and with Facebook. If I'm not on the app, I don't see the comments unless I get out and go back in. It's like this weird thing, like the comments during that time kind of disappear, but on YouTube, they don't. And so YouTube's really great because I can keep going back and forth and finding great content from you incredible people. That this is what I love. You guys are paying attention, you're taking notes, and then you're sharing your notes with us. Make sure that you keep doing that. Keep quoting the incredible people because it touches my heart. And I promise you, people like Pete and our artists are loving that you're quoting them and enjoying their music.
No doubt, Alexander. I think you're spot on. All y'all need to be dropping your comments, dropping your takeaways, making the connection, building that community. Alexander's out there in them streets in his shorts and his jacket looking for you, folks. He's looking for you. So make sure you raise your hand. Let us hear your voice. Let us know that you're there. Alexander, thanks for keeping us connected to the amazing community. We couldn't do it without you, my man. Listen, we've got another song from my man Marquand, all the way from India. He blew us away a little bit earlier, and so I am super excited for him to come to the stage again. You got another one for us? You said this one's a new release, right? Like this is your song.
This is unreleased. It's not a new release. It's not out yet. It's an exclusive, my friend. And it's my first single like ever. I've never put out original music out yet. And this is something that I've written, and it's something that I feel. And well, let's go. Let's get it.
Let's go. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go. I wish every day was a Sunday, and I could lay in my bed through the day. Hard work never kill no one, but why take the chance? So lazy I wish I didn't have to write this song. My yawn is like a siren that I ain't listening. I'm burning out my lazy for tomorrow. I don't wanna, so don't try. In a slumber, a deep dive, chill a little, I get by. I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna, so don't try. In a slumber, a deep dive, chill a little, I'll get by. I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. Einstein was lazy, so was Newton. That shit's on Google. Following their footsteps gives me reason. Why do you stress? I won't be less. Oh, if I sleep finesse. Trust me, being lazy ain't easy. Oh, it ain't easy now. My mind's always driving me crazy. Sleep gets me closer to my dreams. Lazy dreamers are all we need. No, I ain't running away from responsibilities. I'm just clever, so I can't be lazy. My yawn is like a siren that I ain't listening. No. I'm burning out my lazy for tomorrow. I don't wanna, so don't try in a slumber. I deep dive, chill a little, I'll get by. I don't wanna know, baby, I don't wanna, so don't try in a slumber. I deep dive, chill a little, I'll get by. I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. And they say, you know, they say there's no tomorrow. So what's the point of working for it? You know, there's no point working for it, right? If it doesn't exist. But hey, you know what? If there is one tomorrow, then I'm just gonna go ahead and get things done tomorrow. Right now, I gotta go to bed. All right, I'm done. That's my song. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes, yes.
That is right. Isn't that totally a millennial for you? I'm telling you, I love it. I'm just gonna go to bed. Forget it. I love it. Liz, I have a question for you. Thank you so much for coming. When you sing, you are just so in your zone. This is your first single. Congratulations. I wanted to ask you, what was it that really prompted you to say, okay, it's time to release?
So the thing is, I wrote this song because I was 21. I was 20 actually. And people kept telling me, hey, Markand, why do you keep sleeping all day? When do you get to work? I'm like, I'm 21. Nobody's giving me a job. I'm 21 and I'm an artist. I get work when I get work. So I wrote the song. It's not out yet. Like I said, I haven't released it yet. I'm working on getting it released with a label, because that's how it works. You get a larger reach, if you want to call that, and you get a bigger audience who's going to listen to your song. So it's always safer to go with a label, at least in India, because when you're in India, the local language is Hindi. That's what works. And this is English. Plus, it's like a very pop jazzy sort of a song. When you listen to with the whole band and everything, it sounds very different than what I've sung right now. So I'm waiting. I'm kind of trying to get it out, trying to get somebody on board and, put it out. We've got a music video and everything to the song that I've already shot. And it's a fun song.
It is a fun song.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, amazing. I would love to jump in and ask a question. One thing that really, really strikes me is your humor and your personality really comes across in the music. And I absolutely love that. So please don't change that element when you release more music. But I know that you've been in like 400 commercials, right? That's like... Yes. Crazy, and probably something that people don't even realize. And you've got an upcoming film. I don't know if you can talk about that. I don't know
I
if
can.
we're supposed to. Okay, that's cool. So my question for you really is, like, which do you get more enjoyment out? Like, what floats your boat more? Is it the acting? Is it the music? Because I can really feel your humor and personality in the music, but is the acting going to pull you in the other direction?
So I started acting and modeling at the age of 3. That's what I started with. And I started singing at a young age as well. So I used to go do musicals in my school where I remember the first time I got on stage in school and I sang was when they called me and they were like, hey, kid, you act. Can you sing? I said, I can try. And they said, all right, go for it. And they gave me a Pinocchio script. I was supposed to play Pinocchio, and it was a musical. And that's where I realized, hey, I can sing. And that's where I started singing. I didn't want to do music initially, when it came to picking it up professionally, because I was like, hey, I don't know if I've got this. I don't know if I can sing or if I've got anything and if I can make it there. But I'm so grateful to this guy who's helped me produce the song. He was like, hey, you know what? I want to help like a younger, newer generation artist who doesn't know what he's doing and just help him out, figure things, out. And that's how I got into music back in 2019. Till 2019, I was just going on Instagram. I'd go live. I'd go to my college, and I'd just get on stage with my piano, my guitar, and I'd goof around, and I would just improvise songs. So I'd see somebody in the audience, and I'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna write a song on you, because you're the one who I'm gonna trouble today. I'm in the mood." And that's what I used to do. And that's how he was like, "Hey, you know what? You have got a knack for you to start writing." Now the thing is that I can't let either of them go. Both these things are who I am, and that is where it is. So the acting is not going to affect the music, and the music's not going to affect the acting. What's going to affect my music is probably my age. As I grow older, I probably start writing more, "Hey, I'm in love. All right." Sort of songs. Or, "Oh my God, life crisis."
Right.
That's something I haven't written yet, anything about. But yeah, I feel the fun element is always gonna be there.
Well, I too love that aspect of what you do. I think that it's so like natural and it's casual and it shows us all sides of who you are. Thank you for being here with us on #Rise and Grind. We're going to be hanging out over in Clubhouse here in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you want to continue hanging out, we would love to have you. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. You guys are absolutely killing it, and I absolutely love the show. Like I said, it's rise and shine, but it's not breakfast for me. It's tea time with champions.
That's right. Tea time with champions. Well, thank you, Marcan. We appreciate you so much, and we have a surprise for you here on #Rise and Grind today. We have an additional incredible, powerful human joining us here today on #Rise and Grind, Mrs. Kim Walsh Phillips. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hello there. I'm doing wonderfully. How are you?
Fabulous. Hey. Absolutely. Having a great time.
Great. Well, I am starting with a little quiz for y'all, like I like to do. And I'm going to say...
I didn't study.
I'm going to say a identity that these brands give their customers with the slogan that they have. And I want you to guess the brand. Okay, you ready?
All right. Yes.
Okay. Buy one, give one.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say get one free.
Buy one, give one.
Tom Shoes.
Yes, Tom Shoes.
Are you guys Googling?
No Google.
All right. You're all
it took me a minute. I think that was Ramon in the background typing.
Yeah, you couldn't resist. Okay, you're all going to be fast on this one. Ready? 10X.
Grant Cardone.
Yep.
That's easy.
Born to Ride.
Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Yeah, the old white guy got that one. Good.
This is the last one. Think different.
Apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes these brands so successful is that they make their marketing about their community, about their customer, about those that choose to do business with them, and not about themselves. And so when we can do that as business owners, it changes everything. It removes any kind of competition. It allows you to grow and soar regardless of what's going on in the industry. It's the type of business that when people come in, they are thanking you for letting them make a purchase. It's the type of business that people line up for. So how do you do that? How do you start to make your marketing about your customers and not about yourselves? You know, at my firm, we spend a lot of time on this. How do we make our customers know that it is all about them? And I'm going to give you a quick insight. When people enroll in a course of ours, we don't say, thank you for enrolling or thank you for investing. We actually congratulate them on becoming an influencer. We say, congratulations on becoming an official influencer because they've chosen to influence their business, their lives, and their future. So they're getting an identity with that. They get a new Zoom background that says, congratulations on being an influencer, a Facebook profile picture, an announcement in our Facebook group. And we send them a mug that says property of an influencer. And still to this day, people who've gotten it years ago love when they jump on a call, they hold up their mug. It's all about their identity. So another thing we do is when people join our coaching program, we say, congratulations on becoming a powerful professional. Now, one thing you want to do when you come up with your identity is actually take the time to come up with a motto. What are the things that describe somebody who chooses to become part of your world? So I'm going to read you mine. This is going to inspire you and hopefully for you to write your own motto for your community. So ours are called Powerful Professionals. So I'm going to read you this motto, and then I'd love to hear what you think. Powerful professionals don't make excuses. They make things happen. Powerful professionals are in control of their business. They are not victims. If something needs to change, they don't dream it would be different. They make it different. Powerful professionals know that they were not created to fail. They were created to thrive. And success is the greatest response to those that told them they can't. They don't get even, they get ahead. Powerful professionals choose to surround themselves with those who inspire, encourage, and empower. Powerful professionals recognize that there is an abundance of business to be had. They choose to work with those who choose to work with them and joyfully say no to cheap jerk faces. Powerful professionals are not distracted by the latest shiny object. They are focused on proven strategies that fit their sweet spot of gifts and talents. Powerful professionals know their passions are not an accident. They are their God-given superpowers. Powerful professionals do not waste a dollar out of their pocket, a minute of their time or talent, yet they can't invest fast enough in the tools that get them to where they want to go. They do not compromise on things that are most important to them. They are flexible in their how, but never flexible in their why. Family and faith are not a distraction, but a driving force. They know that success doesn't always happen on the first try or even the third, but success is inevitable to those who keep trying. They don't give up when things get hard. They push harder. They don't wish for change. They are the change. And if it ends with, I am a powerful professional, are you? So my question for you is, are you? And if you are, then it's now time to make your marketing not about you, but about your customers. It has to be about them. So the question is, what will the brand identity be of your customers?
Always dropping it like it's hot up here, Mrs. Kim Walsh Phillips. Thank you so much for that, Kim. And one other thing that I want to thank you for also is this guy right here that I just got yesterday. And see this right here. So Kim asked me to be a part of her summit, which I was so thankful and honored to do so. And then I got this little package in the mail yesterday, and it said, thank you so much for sharing your time. And it talked about how we all know that time is the most valuable asset that we all can give. And I love that you took the time to do this for me. It means the world to me. I understand why you are such a superhero and so successful in all the things that you do. The things that you shared just now are the way that you live every single day with your business and with your life, and it shows. So thank you, Kim. Always an honor to have you on.
Thank you so much, everyone. Love sharing this with you. And I'll be hanging out on Clubhouse after the show. I'd love to hear from some of you what the brand identity is that you share with your customers.
Oh. What a great show. And, I'm just going back to the very beginning and can't believe Glenn bought an ape for $800. I just a digital ape. Like I can't.
Hippos.
Marvin, Hippo. I'm sorry. Hippo. I'm sorry.
There were two of them.
Like, that's a deal then. That's a deal. If there's two, there was one. But since there was two, man.
Actually, I got three. I got that one.
I want to know.
I got that one, and I got that one. Right there.
I want which rappers are those three that you bought? Because I saw Snoop earlier. I saw a few others, Missy Elliott and so on. Which three did you get?
I'm not sure which rappers they are yet. I haven't had time. I bought them so late last night that I haven't really had time to dig in And look, I think that one might be Missy Elliott with some different. Yeah, but
see, we should get people to comment who they think it is in the socials.
There you go.
It's beyond you, Scott, huh? It's beyond Scott. Scott's like,
I need to get in the game. I need NFTs for dummies. Like but I don't want to be laughed at. Like if I'm either you're going to look like brilliant, or you're going to look like, what the heck were you thinking? But I think the whole point is, Glenn, is you did it. If it doesn't turn into anything, you supported someone's cause. And I learned a lot. And thank you for sharing that, Glenn, today. I learned a lot about why you did what you did. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad, because it's so much more than, it's about way more than the asset. And when you look at it as just the asset, it's very hard to understand. When you look at it as the artist and the person that you're supporting and the vision that they have, then it starts to make more sense.
And the cause that they support, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And that was the transition piece for me, Scott, is once I started to stop looking at it for, it's not a car that you're going to put in the garage. It's an investment in human capital.
It's being part of a community. Kim just talked about it. You identify with the community, which is rundown, which served people. I get it. Totally get it.
Boom. Love it. Look, see, we're making progress, folks. That's what it's all about. Go ahead,
Lolita. I'm still not buying no Hippo, though. But I get it.
I said Scott has converted. He's about to get in the Hippo line, but he put that out.
yeah. Well, we'll get him with Have NFT, because I know he loves Stephen Coons, so he's going to want to support Stephen Coons. So
and Lolita Walker, keep a little bit there for me. Keep a little bit there for me, Scott.
That's right. That's right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's episode of #Rising Ground. We're going to go hang out over on Clubhouse and talk some more about money. We'll be over there on that side here for the next 30 minutes. So if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, any of those places, go over to Clubhouse and you can ask us questions. We can engage, all of that, because we want this community to be 2-way, 3-way with them, 4, 5-way, all the other people, right? So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. #Rise and Grind.